Hey everyone, Josh Martinez here, and welcome to this week's idea. So this week's idea is light crude oil. Can the market keep pressing up? We were right around $120 a barrel, mind-blowing, and we just got back down below 100. So the question is it going to keep selling off, or is this the new normal and the market's going to keep going up with everything going on with the U.S., Israel, and Iran affecting the oil markets? Okay, so let's take a look. Starting our Fibonacci sequence from where the bullish trend started. This is from Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026 on the 1 hour time frame. One click, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Fibonacci's, 5 Fibonacci's have already worked, 6 Fibonacci's have already worked. This is Fibonacci number 7. So according to our Fibonacci sequence, we have 6 that have worked in a row. This is number 7. We do have a target at 124.65. So as long as the market stays above 88.46, we're going to expect the bullish trend to continue to 124.65, which is like 2,590 or so ticks above. Now, what I want to do is I want to type out the stop and type out the limit, so this way we're all on the same page. The risk here is going to be monstrous, and the reason why the risk is going to be so big is because this is being affected by the conflict, right? So there's a lot of emotionally driven market reactions. People are trying to make the best decisions. Companies are trying to make the best decisions, and you can simply see how the market is reacting to it. Now, with this extra volatility, that means there's opportunity to be made, or to make money, opportunity to lose money. So we want to make sure that we are using something that we can lean on, that makes us feel comfortable as if we are going to win. Fibonacci does that for me. And most importantly, we want to use a stop. A stop is an automatic exit for loss. Now, outside of using a strategy that we believe in and using a stop loss, we want to use what's called confirmation. And confirmation for me is just for the entry strategy. If I bring in a purple line that monitors the previous spikes of that candlestick and that candlestick, if this market is able to close above that purple line, that would indicate to me that we're going to go on another run, that this bearish reaction has ended and that the long-term extension could begin. And once again, you got to remember, that's going to be the 1 hour up Fibonacci would be 124.65. Now, personally, I hope it doesn't get there because it's going to affect the pumps and it's going to affect inflation. It's going to affect a lot of things. However, it is what it is. That's what the research shows. That's what the results show. And so the entry idea, right, would be waiting for the market to break and close above the counter trend line bullish without taking out, without falling below the 1 boundary, which is going to be 89.54. Okay, so what can we do if you look at this, you go, right, the risk is just too much. I agree with you, the risk is relatively massive. The upside's fantastic. If you think about this, you got 2662, about 2,662 ticks above towards the target. What can we do to lower that risk, or at least try to, outside of smaller contract sizes, entry strategy? If you go to a 5-minute time frame, and on the 5-minute time frame, if we were to look at light crude oil and we just kind of view it what it is, the smaller time frames will give us smaller candlesticks. These smaller candlesticks will help us monitor wave movements. These wave movements will give us the opportunity to have tighter stops, which means less risk. So this is where we expect the market to go, and this is where we currently are. What I want to do is basically carry over that counter trend line from the 1 hour, which is going to be this downtrend line here. And what I would want is I would want the market to enter above it, right? Break and close above the angle that pushes the market down. That would make me feel really good about a long idea. If or when this market is able to break and close above that blue level, that will signify that the market bearish trend has ended and the buyers could begin. And then what I would want is to find the angle that pushes the market down. I would want the market to kind of help push the market back up. And so I would feel like a very, very strong buyer buying the market and the buy zone and an uptrend near that low price or potential low price with a counter trend line break. Bullish, that would make me feel really, really good. I could use up Fibonacci's. I could use my favorite entry strategies. I could do a lot of things that could tighten my risk as opposed to the 1 hour time frame. But you know, the market never gets into the buy zone. There's no long trade. But if we do get into the buy zone, there's going to be some options and choices that we can make. All right, everyone, this concludes this week's idea. We did post this on our TradingView profile. If you want to go take a look at this, what you could do is you can go to tradingview.com, search for my name, Joshua Martinez, all one word, no spaces, no numbers, and you can see my previous ideas. I try to once a week, I try to post this on here for you. And this is this latest week's idea. You can see the stop, you can see the limit, you can see the outline, a little bit of a ride up. And yeah, all right, let's see what happens. Remember, there is risk involved in trading. You should never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Always keep risk management in mind. Understand that we are not CTAs, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. And what that means, what we're sharing with you is research. What you do with this information is completely up to you. What else? We don't provide customized investment advice. Past performance is not indicative of future returns. And what that means is no guarantee of a positive outcome. Trading involves risk. If you're not comfortable with the risk, then don't be a trader. It's just the name of the business of being a risk taker. Look at us like a newspaper. We'll share with you our research, walk you through our trade ideas. But what you do with this information is up to you. All right, everyone. My name is Josh Martinez. Until next time, have a wonderful day.